Alright, you guys ready for the craziest story? Also, hi YouTube.
Try.
It's a joke.
Oh freak, no one saw that. Anyway, on with the story. Ready guys? Okay. So it was a normal day, right? And my mom comes upstairs, right? And she's like, can you book an appointment for 3 o'clock tomorrow? It's very important. So I booked the appointment, right? And like if we didn't do this, that would have been super bad. So I'm just letting you know. Okay, so my mom goes to work on the weekends, and the work like all the way in New York. She goes away for the weekend, right? I'm in my room chilling. I wake up at like 6 o'clock for some reason because I like waking up early to get stuff done.
And
I
then
wake
you
up
just
early.
die. That's how the story ends.
Shut up! I wake up early in the morning, and I have this Nutella sandwich, and I also had vanilla chai from Dunkin', and that's a lot of sugar. So, this is where it gets interesting, right? My sister comes downstairs at it's later in the day. I'd say like 10 o'clock. She gets a call from my mom, like, wake up. And like I hear it from upstairs. I'm like, why is my mom panicking? She's all the way in New York. What is happening? Right? And then my sister comes downstairs and she's like, you have to go to the doctor's. Like a 5-minute walk from my house. So I mean like 5 minutes walk with realizing that you have something wrong with you. You know how like scary that is? Like the sun and like my thoughts just like what is happening with it. And my sister was like, oh yeah, oh it's probably nothing. It's probably the doctor scaring you. I get there, and you know how it's hot and it's like I'm wearing a hoodie. Yeah, and you know how there's a quarantine going around and people don't like it when your temperature is high, right? Well,
Eh?
there's another way for your temperature to go high, and that's the heat. If you ever faked trying to get out of school and you put no. Check my sister's temperature and they're like, okay, you could go in. And then they check mine. The temperature was 106. And you know, if it's like that much, they're like, no, you cannot come in. And like, it was like, is there any way I could get in? I'm wearing a hoodie. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. And then they're like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. And I'm like, I kind of have a problem and I don't even know what it is. And then I'm just looking at my sister. I'm like,
Am I gonna die?
yeah. The doctor comes back, right? And they're like, yeah, your sugar, yeah, it's 600. It's supposed to be 98. And I'm like, what? I'm like freaking out. Like, I asked the doctor, like, what does that exactly mean? And they're like, okay, you actually have to go to a hospital now.
Money.
And if you don't go soon, you're probably
Gonna
gonna die. Oh, well, isn't that nice? Isn't that fantastic?
Hero, it sucks. Hero, I hit 100
Oh, hi.
followers, Hero.
Pog! That is so good!
100
100 Fog. I'm explaining how I almost died.
Bad timing, bad timing, I'm out. See
Bad
ya.
timing, bad timing, everything bad timing.
Very bad timing.
Really bad timing.
It's that bedtime that's killing you.
Yeah.
No, it's not the bedtime. I sleep
the
early
bedtime.
because I'm cool.
Just imagine you with glasses and like freckles, like, I go to sleep early because
What the? Do I look like that? Do I look like that? Let me continue my story. So, I'm like, the doctor's like, you gotta go to a hospital. And I'm like, okay, I guess so. And then I go home and like, my mom's thing there like, don't freak out, but you might have to change your whole entire schedule in your life. I was freaking out and like, you know, just saying that to like a person in middle school. And my dad comes home early too. He's like, yeah, I'm worried.
Then to tell it was because of the drugs.
Yeah, drugs make your sugar go high, by the way. Also alcohol, if you wanted to know. So,
What the hero? Oh my god.
Wait a minute.
here with the facts. I'm in the car. I'm just,
Dying.
and I'm like trying to hold back my tears. And my mom goes, so did you study today? And my dad's like, come on, you're strong. You're strong. You could deal with it.
You're
You
little
won't
princess.
die.
My little
won't
princess.
die.
You're not gonna go into coma. No, that's not you. You're strong. You're a strong woman. And I'm like, okay.
Your
Just
books.
because you're in a coma, you're not allowed to study. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Use your
You-
text.
While you're at it, you have to do the dishes as well. Time skip. I'm at the hospital. Yeah, and I'm freaking the heck out. Watch this.
I'm gonna watch you.
Ha! I am so good. I'm just chilling, and this girl walks in, and she's like, "Yeah, you can't eat for like 8 hours," and I'm like,
Yeah, you're gonna die and you can't eat.
I can't have a meal after my death. This is worse than jail. This is worse than
prison. At least in prison, you get a last supper.
exactly. And then this girl, she walks in, and she's like, "Hey, I'm here to make your trip to the hospital so much greater. Whoopee, because it's
Let me
so
tell you
fun.
jokes.
It's so fun. No." What do you want to do? You want to have an iPad? You want to have a drawing? You want to have a paper and a pencil?
Wait, this girl just said, "Do you want to have an
You
iPad?"
wanna
You want to have an
Write your
iPad?
will.
There's Minecraft on it. I am just like, I am so hungry. My headache is like so bad, and my mom's like, "Why aren't they letting you eat? Why are they doing this to you? Oh, my baby is sick. Are you hungry? Are you hungry?
Oh my god, are you hungry? Have you studied?
She comes in, she's like, "Oh, hi guys. I'm so sorry about you guys staying here, but the results for what your problem is won't come in for another hour, and I'm afraid I can't feed you for another hour, but I can feed your mom." She brings in a tray of food.
That
And
is
gives it to my
great,
mom.
woman. Feed my mother who has ate in front of me all the time.
And she's like, "Okay, the results are finally here. You're gonna have to stay here for like a week." And I'm like, "You
And
are
you
not
can't
telling
eat
me
during that time either.
that." No, no. She tells me what I have, right? And this is where it comes in. This is the moment of reveal. Listen, she's like, "Oh yeah, you have type 1 diabetes." And I'm like, "What does that mean?" You know, a lot of people mistake diabetes as like really bad. Lesson right now, okay? So there's two types of diabetes, right? There's type 1 and type 2. Type 1 is genetic, and type 2 is from eating a lot of food. And so I got type 1. So I'm like, okay, what is all these technical terms, and what is happening? Your sugar went down now. It's about 200, so you could eat something finally. And I'm like, oh,
God has
the
blessed
Lord.
me
I'm
today.
the fact that as soon as Sarah tried to speak, all I hear is Lexi go.
Wow, do you really want that in the YouTube video? Do you really want that in the YouTube?
Yes, yes,
Put
I
it in
do.
the video.
Yo, listen, I do not care if I will die. I die, okay? And then they gave me all this stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, you have to do this now. You have to take a needle every time you eat."
Oh
Like
my God.
everything was fine. Everything was fine. Then my mom, she was absolutely devastated. She was scared for her life. She was
like, "You didn't die." Oh my God.
She was like, "How much money is this again? How much money?"
It-
I'm in the car, and my mom's like, "Oh no, this is such a big deal. Oh no, oh my god.
"Oh no,
I'm
no, no."
so
Your head
terrified." She's just
sunshine,
driving. She's like,
lollipops.
"Oh my god, what am I gonna say to my grandma?" I'm like, "Okay, well,
Hey, Ma, you're not the one with that many.
yeah, you're not the one with the problem here." Oh, I go home, and my dad's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
No.
"I'm alive.
No,
I'm
I'm
alive."
I love how that's the voice for your dad. Are you okay?
Are you okay? Are you okay? Suffer.
Luke, I am.
Your dad's
Did you
corpse?
get bored? Did you?
That is what.
Did you sing?
Get
Choke me when you choke me, like you choke me, or whatever.
choke me like you really mean, but you love me.
Oh my God! Here, how do you know the lyrics to that song? That is so embarrassing.
Night that I'm not being checked on in the middle of the night for my sugar. So I was pretty freaked out. And my mom's like, "Let me sleep with you," and I'm like,
What? Whoa! Whoa!
"Why not like that? Not." She's like, "Okay, let me just sleep with you to make sure you don't die." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, okay, that seems cool, but like, why? I'm not gonna die." Literally 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up, all of a sudden, and I am like literally in a cold sweat, just like, what is happening? I kind of don't want to die, so I'm like, okay, let me check my sugar real quick. I'm gonna go to the sugar, and then I'm like, my mom's just sleeping. I'm like, I don't have to wake them up, and I check it,
Like
and it's
43.
yeah, it's like 44, and it's supposed to be like 100, and that is so bad. I was like, okay, 43 is really bad. Like, if I don't fix it now, I'm gonna literally die. So I'm like, okay, mom,
It's
don't
not
be
that bad.
alarmed, but I think I'm
Okay.
about to die. And then she's like, she just wakes up like, what? And she just gets up immediately, like she does a backflip or something, and she she just gets up and she's like, like speed runs freaking getting a juice box from downstairs. She's like, cue the music like, do no no no. And then she's like, okay, I need to get the juice box. And then she's like, okay, drink the juice. And she's like literally shoving it in my face. Like she's like, drink the juice box. I was like, okay, you do. I'll drink the juice box. I'll do it. Blah blah blah. And then, I kid you not, she has the most terrified face. And check my sugar gun after like a few minutes, and then it's like 60 still, and I'm like, it's still 60, and she's like, why? It goes back to what it's supposed to be. I had the
Having a
worst sleep
stroke.
that night. I sleep for 10 hours. I slept for 2 hours that night. Well, that was the story how I almost died. If you guys enjoyed, yeah, sub with Twitch Prime. It's totally
Not
free.
even close.
It's free money. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell and leave a like. Leave a like, it really helps.
Yes, yes. You should leave a like.
Leave a like, yeah. It was